Us. I'm Sensei Marco Lala, and thank you for purchasing my new instructional video, Destructive Low Kicks and Knee Attacks. If you've already seen my first video, How to Knock Out Any Attacker Within Seconds, you saw the destructive, damaging power of kicks to the higher level. But on this tape, I'm going to concentrate on how you can master the devastating potential of low kicks. Low kicks are a lot easier to master and do not require the flexibility that is needed for high kicks. Why a whole tape on low kicks and knee attacks? Well, I had the pleasure of fighting someone who was very proficient in low kicking. It felt like he could have snapped my legs at any minute, and I was squatting over 400 pounds at the time. From that day on, I vowed to myself that I was going to discover every secret I could about low kicking and knee strikes. On this tape, I'm going to start out with several training methods on how to develop the lower part of your body to deliver crippling low kicking techniques. Then I'm going to get into some segments of a seminar that I held here at my dojo on April 26, 1992. Then I'm going to get into the actual low kicking techniques themselves. I think you're going to find this a very informative tape. And again, as always, keep an open mind and train hard. Us. Cinder block conditioning methods. The next series of conditioning exercises are designed to toughen the various striking surface areas of the foot. This is the knife foot edge. In all the striking methods, please keep in mind to keep the toes and your foot muscles tightened, just as you would when you make a tight fist. Now we're working the ball of foot, which would be used in a front kick or even roundhouse kick application. Remember, try to work both sides evenly. In this situation, I'm just showing you the various techniques with my right foot. This is the bottom heel of foot, which can be used for downward strikes to the temple while somebody's down on the ground, or also straight into the pelvis area, as you'll see later on in this video. The next is the back of heel, which can be used also for downward strikes while your opponent is on the ground, or for spinning type techniques, spinning heel kicks to the groin or head level. Remember, always keeping your toes tight. 6'4" heavy bag training. This segment I'm doing with a partner. This helps timing and also keeps you motivated because you want to kick just as hard as your partner is. Remember, try to build up same timing so the bag doesn't move that much. And kick harder and harder. The 6'4" bag comes in very handy when practicing low kicks and high kick combinations. This particular bag was custom designed for my studio and is available through the Iron Warrior Federation if you're interested. Here I'm practicing the low roundhouse kick with the left leg continuously one after the other. It is also an endurance type workout as well as a power training workout. Keep in mind the pivot on the supporting foot. Here is the straight in knee kick on the heavy bag. Notice the twisting of the hip into the kick as I perform the knee kick. This is very important for achieving maximum power. Next is the roundhouse knee kick. Again, pivoting on the supporting foot, throwing it at about rib level. Now, as you see, I'm combining a low knee kick and a middle height knee kick. The low kick can be thrown towards the thigh area or the groin area. As I stabilize the bag, I'm getting ready now for the next training method. This is hooking the bag with the left hand as if I'm grabbing the opponent's head and throwing in the left roundhouse knee kick. As we throw knee kicks, please keep in mind to keep the toes pointing downward to expose the correct part of the knee for attack. Freestyle bag training with low kick combination. What I'm doing here now is just arbitrarily putting together some kicking combinations. This instance is the low round kick followed by the knee kick. This is also described thoroughly in the knockout video using a shield with an opponent.
Now I'm working right and left sides with a double roundhouse kick combination, and now the roundhouse kick and knee kick also. Notice the footwork. I try to keep a certain distance from the bag so I can throw the technique with the maximum amount of power. I don't want to be too close or too far away. My hands are always up trying to control the bag just as I would an opponent in a fighting situation. And again, from this angle, you can see the body movement here, how I use the hips to drive the kick into the bag. I'm also using the swinging of the bag to help in developing power in my kicks. Kick shield training with the low side kick aimed towards the knee joint area. This particular kick is thrown from the chambered position, and now I'm going back down to the floor and then chambering the leg up and kicking. So you can work it both ways, repetitively, one after the other from the chambered position, or this way, coming back down, setting, and then throwing the kick again. Next is a front kick to the knee level. Again, low kicks are a lot easier to throw than high kicks, so the power can be greatly enhanced. This particular kick is thrown to the front of the knee. Remember, always hands up so that you can follow up with hand techniques. Arm guard training. This whole segment requires a partner to work with, but really the benefits are greatly worth it. As you can see, the partner can move around and try to help you with the training methods. He can motivate you, encourage you to kick harder or move faster. The first one was for the roundhouse knee kick. This is the position now for the straight-in knee kick, with both arm guards crossed in front of the person holding the shields. As you can see, I'm using various hooking methods also that I'll describe at the end of the video. Now a variation of a jumping in straight knee kick. Now I'm setting up for the low roundhouse kick. Make sure one pad is on the inside of the top pad to absorb more of the power of this low roundhouse kick. Again, watching the pivot of my supporting foot and driving the hip into the kick, striking with the shin area. This is a variation of a combination setup for the low roundhouse kick and a knee kick. As you can see, the low roundhouse kick with the right leg and the knee kick with the left leg. Next is a variation with an opponent throwing a hook punch or a sucker punch at you. You'll see now how you evade it and use the evasion to set up a momentum for the knee kick. As the opponent evades towards the right, away from the punch, follow up with the knee kick. Wall training. Those of you who have my book, The Ultimate Weapon, will understand that when using the wall for conditioning exercises, we don't strike at it as we would a heavy bag. The techniques are thrown at a lot slower pace, really concentrating on making contact with the surface area or the striking area of the weapon you're using. In this instance, the ball of foot. The correct striking area for the low kick is approximately 4 fingers below the knee, because that's a very sensitive area, starting underneath that position to the top of the ankle. This is the low roundhouse kick applied to a sandbag. Again, the sandbag is very firm, so I want you to be careful throwing the technique slowly, concentrating on the striking area. This is another variation of shin conditioning using a straight-in kick. For the instep, you can see we start a little bit above the toes to the top of the ankle to condition the instep. Again, using the sandbag. Nice, slow, wide movement to really condition the surface area. Next is the heel or bottom heel training method using the sandbag. This particular thrusting kick, as we'll see later on, can be used towards the pelvis area. Remember, chamber the leg up and then drive the heel out straight into the target. Here's a quick look at how I set up the bag stand with the cinder blocks and then a regular mail sack in this situation filled with sand. The cinder block behind the bag is to keep it away from the wall. Now we're going to use the arm guards as thigh protective equipment. What we do is take 3 white belts or 3 pieces of rope, set the 2 arm guards to the side. Take one of the belts, loop them through the top strap of the arm guard in this manner. And we take one side, loop it through again so that we can set it up as a belt, just like so, wrapping it through the 2 straps. Step into the belt, the makeshift thigh protective gear, tighten it up, slide the arm shields over to proper position. Okay. Then in order to prevent further sliding, we take a reverse loop through the top strap of the arm shield, like so. This will keep it securely in the proper position. Coming through again, reverse looping it. Then make a knot here. Okay, now we have the top part set up in this fashion. Then we take one of the other belts, strap it up on the bottom, like so, 2 or 3 times, getting a nice firm, tight feeling on it. This way. Take the third, set it up. Again, coming around, tying it here. You can tuck the belt out of the way in this fashion. Then we're ready to go to work on low thigh kicks. And then as another dimension, if you'd like, we incorporate the kicking shield so that we can work different angles and heights for knee kicks and thigh kicks. Another interesting variation of using the arm guards as leg protective gear is tying them below the knee level so that we can throw low side kicks and other low striking methods below the knee area. In this situation, you can see the opponent is countering a high kick and following right up with the low side kick. Here's the thigh kick protective gear used versus the low roundhouse kick. I'm working both legs as we switch back and forth, striking with the rear leg. The next method is attacking the front leg and the rear leg with the combination of my right leg and left leg attacks. That was a combination now. Low knee kick to the thigh, followed with the left roundhouse kick to the person's rear thigh. Faking low, then coming back up high with the roundhouse kick. This is a little freestyle variation of the thigh pads and arm pads. Working different angular attacks to the low level and high level using knees and shin attacks. Remember, always keep your hands up and try to use explosive movements as we come in, working various combinations. In training is the time to experiment, not on the street. Here I'm trying to tie up my opponent and working knee kicks on the inside. Now adding the kicking shield, I can combine straight-in attacks with roundhouse kicks to the thigh. This combination is a front kick, low roundhouse kick, hooking in, and then coming in with